run alongside presidential candidate Mr. West, Mr. Sam Miller.
I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal. Take me to the future of your world.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You want to touch you.
Yeah, Miller.
It's a good song, wasn't it?
Mr. Miller is good.
Hi, everybody. Name's Sam Miller of the Mill Western Corporation. You may have heard of me or my wonderful beer, Sam West's Beer. You ever heard of it?
Miller.
It tastes like water.
No. It tastes like water.
No, I said Sam West's Beer, which is a new beer coming out soon. Now, Rosalina.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Now, I brought beer for everybody because I thought this would be a real great time to sit back and have a cold one. Now, I'm vice president. Yeah, go ahead, have yourself some free beer on me.
It's on.
What are your standpoints and policies, Mr. Miller?
Yeah, I'll get to it, sir. You sit tight. Now, I'm the vice presidential candidate. My compadre over there, Quest, he's running for the president, and I'm his compatriot, the vice presidential candidate. Now, our stance is to make this desert great again, all right? We're going to put up a wall and keep them bandicizers out, because we don't take kindly to the bandicizers. They ain't real people. They don't even work for their money. They just steal it from the little people of this land, all right? And I'm for small businesses, because everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves a chance to make a few dollars.
Yay, small businesses.
Yeah. I'm just here to be for the people. I'm going to be the people's voice.
Motherfucker. West is best.
Yay.
Boys. Everybody.
Oh my God!
Shoot the clone, shoot the clone. Chicago.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Rooster, can you open the door?
Go outside, Chicago.
Look out! Look out! Look out! They're coming in through the roof!
Hey, move out of the way. Come here, go.
There's one above us!
Kill clones. You see a clone, shoot.
My clowns!
No, I'm still Dimitri, over this way, Dimitri. No, we're good.
Chicago,
I gotta get out of here.
You see a clone,
Stand
shoot
in
it.
my spy.
How are you awake? Oh my God.
We're under attack.
What?
You be an influence in his administration.
Narcotics grenades being thrown around. I tried running outside. I ended up falling just short of the ramp.
Shut up outside, you son of a bitch!
Another voice very distracting. Thank you.
One of those guys ended up being surrounded, so
I can't hear myself think, whoever's talking. Move the hell away.
Someone, whoever's talking, please stop talking.
they can hear us.
Yeah, can
Move the interrogation away,
guy
please.
Wow, this beer is fantastic.
Hell yeah, it is.
Attractive?
It sure is good. Oh, you married this.
Right in the back. Don't move.
Oh my God, Chicago, go easy on the beer.
All right, sir, you can continue now. They're
Alcohol poisoning. That's bad.
Bro, you need me to return the...
Marshall.
No, I know what you asked, and just
I'm
waiting for everyone to
sorry, I had
shut
to-
Well,
the fuck up.
it would be helpful if you would repeat it, because I've had to scream now, and I want to make sure I'm on the right topic. If you could just repeat the question, go ahead.
Okay.
Evidence
Broden,
the last
how
one.
will you support your running mate in his bid to enforce his policies in the desert? How will you be an influence in his administration? Well, first things first. Not only is Chip, my, presidential candidate, he's also my bro. I plan to protect him and watch his back at all times and make sure that no one gets to him. And to help enforce his policies, I myself personally will go out and help to officiate and make sure that the things that he wants done are done. I'll serve fish and chips to people. I will take down the bandit. I'll make sure that whipping parties are happening. And I promise to always serve him and his whatever policy or deeds he has loyally and truthfully.
Yeah, what's that?
All right.
Combo
Is
meal.
that it, Mr. Broden? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Captain Dimitri, how will you be an influence in your running mate's administration?
I'm here to stand up and defend for the American flag. And just not the American flag, any flag that any American or any person in these lands wanna fly. And America is all about being free. Flying any flag you want. Doing anything you want, as long as it doesn't impede on the justices or the rights of those that are around you. We're gonna bring the jobs back by bringing the water back. We have a plan underneath Mr. Pickle to blow a hole in the wall of the shield that's around us that we not walk behind, and bring the water into these lands, bringing jobs, providing everyone to fly their own flag, allowing people to yawn at the captain when they want to, without any repercussion, doing whatever you want. This is the plans that the captain has. And Larry Pickle is the one that's leading the way.
I love this so much.
Right, thank you, Captain. Mr. Sam Miller, how will you be an influence in your running mate's administration?
Well, that's a very excellent question. Thank you. I'm not sure about my people here beside me, but what I do know is that myself and West have experience running a successful operation, which makes us highly qualified to run this desert and make it great again. All right? And I'm going to support him and make sure that we get the decisions out there and we get the things that the people need. The people like you out there watching right now. We're going to make sure you have what you need and you're safe, because we're going to make this desert great again. And remember, West is best, Miller is killer, and we know how to get shit done.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Broden, would you like to offer a rebuttal to either Captain Dimitri or Mr. Miller about anything that was said, or any responses to anything they've said?
I would like to say that, you know, I do also wish to support that, you know, everyone has free will, free choice, whatever they would like to do, whatever they do. And
That wasn't the question.
Will not let anyone. So that being said, if you decide to hurt anybody unjustly, in a way that would, you know, therefore make them sad or hurt their
That was not the
feelings,
question.
or kill them, we're not gonna let that pass. We won't let anyone get away with these crimes, because that would be letting bandits get away with crimes. And also, I'd like to say that I feel like my fellow candidates here, while their goals are admirable, I feel like they're rather unrealistic.
How is ours unrealistic?
And,
ours
you
is
know,
exactly what he
that's
just
okay.
said.
You know, it's okay to dream big, but I think, you know, when you dream, you should make sure that you yourself are capable of completing these dreams.
Ours. He just literally took our fucking thing that we're gonna have to punish people and keep them safe from the.
Captain, do you have any offer of rebuttal or response?
I
to anything
absolutely
Mr.
do.
Broden has said or Mr. Sam Miller said?
Yes, I say the captain does not dream. I drink till I pass out and I wake up and I do. That's what I do. So all these things that I say I'm gonna do is gonna be possible. We're gonna make this land great again. We're gonna bring the water back one way or another. It may sound like a fairy tale, but you've seen the great happen through many stories in your life. The captain's here, not to just promise a falsehood, but a fairy tale that can come true. Like shit, Fairy. It was a great scene. And,
Get some hype in the chat.
We're gonna reproduce that.
One sec, Stripper Maloney.
Something like that. Here,
All right,
drink
thank
some
you,
more
Cap.
beer, everyone.
Mr. Sam Miller, do you have a response for either of your opponents, what they've said in their statements?
Absolutely, I do. Both of them have somewhat failed to address the point of the question, which was how will you support your presidential candidate? All they did was re-talk about what the policies are. I think that was kind of ridiculous, all right? But what I will say is that Broden fellow over there just basically copied our platform, talking about the bandits want to keep people safe, but I have no idea how he's going to keep people safe when I don't see much of a militarized force behind him, when we have experience having a security force. And I might add, our security force was donated for free to keep people safe.
I know.
Yay!
Build a wall. Build a wall, please.
That is my rebuttal.
Yay! Make the desert great again.
Damn right I will.
Y'all
gonna be
move around a
huge.
little bit.
Miller is killer. West is best.
Take a brief intermission for a move.
Man likes to kill people.
Everyone stand up and move, just so you don't fall asleep. Personally, what do you personally plan to do for the desert? That's not only assisting the candidate. What plans do you propose to put forward, and how would you propose to enforce them?
Yes.
The original question was what plans do you intend to enact if you become vice president? I elaborated.
The answer?
We don't just want a rehash of everything. Like I said, I was giving everybody a chance to sit back down. But we can continue now if all candidates are prepared.
The captains are prepared.
Trading army?
Right, Mr. Miller, would you like to take your place?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright. Mr. Broden, what plans do you personally intend to enact if you become vice president? This is not things that Chip Daly has announced that he will do, that you'll support. What do you propose yourself, and how do you propose to fulfill that?
Well, thank you,
I
Hellslust.
propose to announce an official bro time. It will be about a 20-minute period for a day where everyone will just kind of hang out, shake hands, do the fucking secret high fives and stuff like that. Just have a good time. Maybe get drunk, party, listen to some music. Just kind of have a good time. Go out there. You make friends with everybody. That way, that way people are more familiar with each other. Keeps tensions down. And
Bro
that
time.
way there's less arguments in the desert. And more people get along.
I love it.
Okay, thank you, Broden. Captain, what plans do you propose to fulfill and enact if you become vice president? Different than Mr. Larry Pickle.
It's very simple here. I'm gonna initialize a no VIP status. That way everyone's equal in these lands. There's no reason one man should be above another. That's just straight ridiculous. Why is one man worth more than another? That's elite royalty status talking. And here in the land of the free, every man makes their own worth. So we need to eliminate the VIP status to being restricted so much. We may still have a VIP. But anyone, if they spent enough hard work and time, they could at least get into the
Communist
for one day.
Communism.
And that's what the captain said.
Communist.
Everyone should be allowed.
Communism.
Mr. Miller, please save your rebuttal for at the end.
Sorry about that. I have a cough. It's dry desert.
The captain would also initialize a boat for everyone because we would have water back to these lands. Arg, arg, arg.
Oh, hello
All
there,
right.
darling.
Mr. Miller, what plans do you plan to enact if you become vice president, different than what Mr. West has already proposed?
Wow, what another amazing question. I'm glad you asked that. Well, I'm going to ensure that the best economists are hired once West and myself are elected. With these economists, we will ensure that the economy becomes great again, strong, prosperous. We will ensure that small businesses are looked after with this economy and these economists, because they're geniuses. The best money will be spent on them. Trust me. Now, When we work on the small businesses, we're going to work on the police forces, such as this humble little courthouse we have here. I want to ensure that these men are armed to the teeth so they can do their job safely and keep us safe from the banditisers. Now, I come from humble beginnings. I worked my way up. I know a thing or two about money, but these economists are very needed because that's all they do. They read economy books and such. So then we're going to put them a good goddamn use. And you know what? These water sources, we're going to use that economy and the money to make the water sources bigger so everyone has a chance to drink. Like on the great Sahara of the Africa, where all them animals go and drink. We're going to make it really big like that. And have lots of little troughs so people get to go and drink out of the troughs together and just get along and make it a really happy world.
Henry, keep an eye on things. I'll be back.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr.
Miller
Broden,
is killer.
would
Miller is
you
killer.
like to respond to anything either of
Miller
your
is
opponents have said?
You know, I'd like to say that a bunch of people drinking out of the same trough seems a little bit unsanitary to me. You know, everyone's sticking their faces in the same water hole. As for Dimitri there, I don't really disagree with anything he said entirely. And you know, yeah, that's about all I got.
All right, thank you, Broden. Captain, would you like to offer a response to anything either of your opponents have said?
They don't like my troughs.
Yes, I would like to say that I'm not communist at all. I just agree that we can work together to help each other out. And I don't see why that is so hard to do. We're not asking you to do it.
It's
We're
still
just saying
coming.
that if you would like to help out,
Control yourself.
then you can. But that's okay. And yes, that's all I have to say. I would not like to put down my opponent to the right because that's all he can do is put people down.
All right,
You make good points.
thank you, Captain. Mr. Miller, do you have anything as a response towards either of your candidates?
Absolutely, I
I
do.
apologize.
The desert pirate over here, this guy, that's kind of rude of him. I feel like he did
not a
attack me there.
pirate, I'm a
Now, I think it's pretty clear that he is a communist, all right? He made some very communistic comments there. I just want that to be known. I don't really have to delve into it too deep. As for the comment about sharing the same water, I believe that Broden over there thinks that we're all diseased and sick. I think he's alienating us. I got no problem drinking from the same water source as you fine people, because it's no different than what we've been doing, all right? Now, that was quite rude. West is best.
Is that what he
Miller is killer.
I don't
Miller
think
is
that's
killer.
what he said.
West is past.
Which
Pick
is-
Miller is killer.
Is killer.
All right,
Miller's a
that
lady
concludes
killer.
that segment. Everyone, please stand up, have an exercise break before we continue on to the next segment.
Does
3
anybody
minutes.
have any water?
3 minutes.
How about good as West?
I don't know what you're saying.
Continuing.
Guys, we need some hype in the chat.
Candidates, please.
Oh,
I'd
shit.
like to fit
Get some
in
hype in the
with
chat.
Okay.
Assassin David coming that reason for 2 months in a row. Thank you so much, Assassin. I'll get to it after.
Here comes the dumb
Interruption.
Okay,
There we go.
the last question. Mr. Broden, how will the desert be better if you're elected vice president? How will the desert benefit?
I'd like to, you can always come up to us. You can talk to us. You know, we're just ordinary guys. Just so if somebody else should see you out in the dune or the streets if you've seen those before. And I'd like to think that we're pretty good at protecting the people we care about and the people that care about us. You know, we make sure that our friends stay protected and stay healthy.
All right,
You know, we always look out for one another. You know, we're one big happy family. You know, that's so I'd say that we would make sure that everyone would always be happy and have a fun time, and would not have to worry about most of the hardships of the desert, and wouldn't have to worry about bandits anymore and whatnot. That's all.
Okay, I'm taking notes.
Okay, thank you, Broden.
I'm taking
Captain
notes.
Dimitri, how will the desert be better if you're elected vice president? How will we and the desert benefit?
Well, I feel like this is not the greatest of questions, and it's not. My apologies to you, Rooster. I love you, but it sounds like the same question over and over again. Because obviously, I'm gonna stand by my president. We're gonna make the American flag great again. Everyone's gonna believe in it. We're gonna bring jobs and water back to this land. We're gonna blow a hole in this wall. We're gonna bring freedom for all. But we're also gonna do other things. We do not believe in communism at all. That's a ridiculous statement. Excuse me, let me drink of water. That is a ridiculous statement made by an opponent of ours. I believe we do not do communism, but we help out our fellow brothers, our fellow neighbors.
Communism does
How
this.
would you feel if you were asking for help and no one was there to help you? I'm not
Communist.
saying no law in our land. I'm just saying we're just saying we should help you. But it doesn't matter what I say. This person to the right of us, he's gonna keep spewing shit out of his mouth like he's making sloppy Joe. And that's just what he does. The person to the left of us is speaking the truth. So anyways, the captain speaks his mind. And
I made
that's
notes.
What I see.
To the right of us, road and take it for face value.
Well, left and right.
This
vice
is very
versa.
true.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
the same question
You and
goes to
Broden
you.
spread a lot of
How will the
nonsense.
desert
It's
be
so
better
true.
if you are elected vice president?
Well, again, what an amazing question, and I'm glad you asked it. Now, you all have sat here and listened to us speak, and these two people beside me, they really haven't detailed how they're going to protect you. They just say they're going to protect you. You know, with West and Miller, you're going to get an army. An army that's going to protect you from the bandasizers, all right? So the question is, how would the desert not be better with us, my friends? Because it will be 1,000 times better than anything they can provide. They don't have a plan. They just think they're going to protect you from the bandasizers magically. They're going to ask them to stop politely because they're being so polite. But I'll tell you what, we're going to dig in and get into the nitty gritty. All right, we're going to get so dirty and deep in that dark hole that we're going to kick those bandits' asses. We're going to kick them right out of this goddamn desert. All right? Now that's something you can count on. Just like West and Miller. West is best. Miller is killer. West is best. Miller is killer.
Alright,
Miller is killer.
lie down.
Dimitri's a communist.
The floor goes to Broden for a response to anything either of his opponents have said.
You know, I'd like to start off by saying, thank you, Dimitri, for agreeing with me. And I'd like to say they're not only brothers, but I'd like to say sisters as well. You know, we're not, you know, we include everybody, even those who are both. And on top of that, I'd like to say that the man that's all the way to your left and my right seems to have a confidence issue by constantly screaming his name at the end of his turns. So you know,
Tiny peanuts.
I take that into mind.
Big ego.
Alright, Broden.
Support.
Captain,
It's called support because we overwhelmingly support him.
West,
Unlike you.
Captain, do you have a response to either of your opponents for what they have said?
Yes, I must say, Broden is here. He's speaking the truth also. But think about this. If you elect an army that's so strong to take out your enemy that you can't even take out,
in that armor.
what are they gonna do to you when they take out the enemy and you're the only target left and they turn towards you? Think about that. Think about when you elect a government that's so strong, not even you can stop them. Think about that. The captain tells you, think about things before you allow someone of such power and prominence to rule you.
Alright, thank you, Captain. Mr. Miller,
Said rule.
would you like to offer a response to anything either of your opponents have said?
Absolutely, I would. You know, I'm really glad that the communist here pointed out that our government will be very strong when West and myself are elected. Right? We're not going to have bro time. We're not going to ask the bandits politely. We're going to take them by force. and make sure that they never come back. And that's something you can count on. Now, I'm also glad that the people beside me took time out of this discussion to just point out how much they dislike me instead of tackling the hard points. That's a little ridiculous if you ask me. And the captain beside me here, the communist, apparently doesn't like sloppy joes. What the hell was with that comment? Now, see, ordinary people was something that the gentleman on the far left over here talked about. Ordinary people being fit for running the desert. I don't agree with that. I think you need skilled, talented people that are going to get the job done, not some ordinary person that just wants to hang out and thinks it's a cool title. And that's something that you can count on from West and myself. We're going to get the job goddamn done, people. We're going to get it done. West is best. Miller is killer. West is best. Miller is killer.
Settle down. Settle down.
Everyone, settle. All right, there will be 5 questions from the audience. Line up at the podium if you have one. Please keep them actual questions and not just vying for support for the candidate you want elected. Make it relevant to anything they've said or that they plan to do. And please, if you can, try and direct it towards more than just a single person.
Hey, you.
That's a lot of questions. Jesus.
Oh,
Alright.
wow,
Actually, I went backwards, so.
Mr. Floyd, what question do you have for the candidates?
I was behind
Yeah.
this
I
man.
have a two-part
Right.
question.
I was right here, and then I went right here.
Hold on.
Why?
One moment,
debating
Mr.
whether
Floyd.
they should,
One moment. Let me just count this out real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the fuck out of line.
But I have a very important question to ask.
Now,
Yeah,
Be reading my gamma.
I have an idea. How about everybody after 5 gets to ask just one question? One quick question. I don't mind.
Because I'm fat.
I don't mind. I say everybody gets to ask a goddamn question.
All the questions you want.
That's a lot of questions, Miller.
We'll
You
be
sure
here
you can
for
handle
Very
it?
quick question.
I can handle
I
it.
could handle all of them.
Chances are
One
people will
thing.
probably
You can
ask
come
the
up
same
once.
question and some people will leave anyway.
Only a
Sandy,
weak candidate
if
cannot
they
ask
leave-
What the hell?
all
You said
these
5 questions, now there's a huge line.
I can answer
Yeah,
all
they
the
can
male
questions
force
all
it.
night
Chauvinistic society is this?
What?
That the people have questions?
I know, right?
You
Alright,
just kicked
well,
the
well,
man out of
let's-
line,
let's-
so all these men
let's
could go up there and
Floyd
ask
go.
chauvinistic male questions.
I know.
Someone
What
get right about that.
douchebag.
Have for-
Don't worry, Aaron, I got this.
Settle
Aaron,
down.
Aaron,
Have for
Alright,
spot
everyone
him.
shut up. Everyone gets to ask questions.
I don't want to cut anybody off.
Alright, allow Emma back in her spot, please.
It is a very brief two-part question, since you did say that I needed to ask all the candidates, and some of the candidate statements did bring up some questions of my own, and I do have a question for all the candidates, and then of course I will direct it more obviously afterwards. My question is, with all the recent attacks, and not even recent attacks, but not recent attacks as well, on people's property, on their facilities, ransacking their homes, all of you seem to have a pretty firm stance on how to deal with pests and how to deal with robberies and burglars and the terrible people and insane people of this desert. It happened before. You all have really good game plans as to how to change it for the future. But where were you before? For example, when my place was blown up and my facilities were ransacked, and that's just me, for example. Obviously, I have a pretty personal connection here, but there's plenty of people who have been attacked in the past. So what's your future plans on how you expect to deal with this? You all talk a good talk, but it's interesting how you're all making plans now, all of a sudden, when it's in your benefit for your candidacy. But where were you before?
Alright, Mr. Broden, you'll have the first response.
You know, you bring up a really good point there, Floyd, bro. And I gotta say that, I'm sorry that your facilities got hit again. It was a terrible occurrence.
It just happened once. You should know.
Well, I meant, I apologize again, because I apologized before. But anyways, so prior to these happenings, I was not aware, nor was I around at the time, and nobody would really ask for help. You know, people would kind of just wake up and their facilities would be hit. And, you know, there's nothing you can really do about that because sometimes you just don't have the proper information. Now, as to what we're going to do in the future, we will make patrols. We will do our best to make sure that everyone's places are safe at night and make sure that their homes are kept intact and protected. And that's what I had to say on that point. Yeah, bro.
Now, how are you supposed to stand for everyone when you consider your bros a select few people? And the people
I
that you
consider
do
everybody
consider
my
bros
bros.
can be dropped at a moment's... So how do you consider people bros when your other bros
Mr. Floyd?
are the ones who ransack people's bases?
Well, you know, I was not aware of it at the time, and I would have stopped them had I known. And, you know, they have already served their, they served their nickel.
No, they haven't.
And Mr. Dimitri?
Okay.
Yes,
yep,
they have.
Captain, you have the floor.
I'm directing it to everyone, sorry.
So, as in this, America's never attacked anyone ever. We've never been hostile towards anyone. We've helped everyone out with every problem we've come across. But we cannot come across every problem. You know, if we did, we would be very exhausted. And we would be out of resources to be able to help the simple people that needed it. Sometimes certain people must
Brogate
take up their
scandal.
own stuff if they have the power and the willingness to. And that's what we must decide upon. When we get multiple problems and we have a little guy that confronts us, and they've got like 3 people to their group, and they ask us for help. And then we have someone with like 12 or 10 people to their group, and they ask for help. And sometimes we must say, you know what? You've got to help out the little guys.
Okay.
They've got no one else there for them. Only the captain in America could be there for them. Now, I've only been with America for a few days. But for these few days that I've been here with America, you know, it's been at least a week and a half. They've helped out more people than I could imagine. And across my times, across this land, this desert land, I've helped out everyone that I could.
Watergate.
Across multiple nations when I was with the Dorvern Kingdom. I've tried many times, and I've been in some bad situations. The captain's not
I think so,
perfect.
Drago.
The captain's not perfect at all. He's a flawed individual that he tries to make up by helping out anyone that he can. So
Didn't mean to
I
make you so
apologize
emotional.
for any of my flaws, but I promise
Triggered.
from here on out we will do what we can to help out anyone that we can.
Thank you, Captain.
All right.
And Mr. Miller?
Yes, thank you for asking that question, by the way. I think it's an excellent question. Well, the recent attacks that have been going around, I was actually just attacked again last night. But I put faith into this wonderful police station that we're in right now. These men here have done one hell of a job, and we have always come and supported them. But under our leadership, we'll put more funding into the police forces to make sure that they're well equipped and have the manpower to deal with these issues. Now, I have been personally attacked quite a bit, but I still have faith in this police force.
Hey.
All right.
Alright,
Thank you
but
for your time,
wasn't your
gentlemen.
copycats the ones that just copied us?
What?
Miller
They
Miller.
attacked us.
Anyway, Miller...
I didn't realize that you get to ask a question. Well, I woke up today and found I had been cloned. I failed to see how that is my fault or my problem.
Okay. That's a
Thank you,
stupid
gentlemen.
question.
All right.
On.
My turn.
Chip, get out of the line. Chip, get out of the line.
Yeah, I'm
I was
waiting
behind
on
Skip.
Thank you. Can I do my question now? I got a good
Is
question.
it just going to be for Mr. Miller?
No, it's a good question for everybody. So there's been a
Okay.
lot of talk about the economy and business, but I want to know what sort of backgrounds the vice presidential candidates have in
good
business.
question.
Like, how much money have you made in business? Do you have proof that you made money? And if so, how much money did you make on what products? I'm interested in to know how good you conduct your business. Anybody can say
That
good
one cuts
business,
deep.
But I need hard, cold facts. Money. Not just saying that you sold things and got nothing in return. Like, how much money did you make?
How many people did you kill with
How
your sandwich?
profitable is the business? Okay.
None,
Mr.
actually.
Brody,
Whoever said that,
you
I
have
didn't kill
the
anybody with
response.
my sandwiches.
He's killed. No.
Where can I find the
Please
sandwiches?
allow the candidates to respond.
Right
Mr.
there.
Brody.
Danny, we'll get you lots of sandwiches after the debate if you come to the factory.
Henry, get off my
Oh,
toes.
beautiful, darling.
West.
But they're all.
Henry.
People can answer now.
Broden.
Sorry about that.
Allow
I'm
Broden
gonna
to
hold
speak.
myself back.
All right.
Okay, continue.
I'd like to lead off by saying that I was actually second command, actually acting command as of now of the brewmasters because my boss Apollo is no longer
That's
working out the
returned.
much often, so I'm basically the leader of the brewmasters, and we are a brewery. We sell beer, and we have made thousands in ingots
Food behind.
of our orders and such, and we always are very friendly
From
with
what
our
people?
our clients, the Long Rocks, which they stopped. Pretty much all the bars have shut down, pretty much, which kind of sucks,
So
actually.
one. So you've only sold the Long Rock.
No, Long Rock, Silent Siren, Justice Family, even we sold to for a big order one time. Who else? See, we
Carnival.
I think we did. I think we did the. Yeah, we did the Carnival.
Yeah, the
Fixed
hole's
Life
fixed.
Bistro. Am I missing? Oh, I think we did the Dusty Bust one time too, maybe, and maybe the Mirage.
All right. Captain, you have the floor.
If you have to say if you have to prove how many deals you've done as a man, you're very shy in your manhood. The captain's done more deals than he could count in his hand. And why would you count that too? We're counting as freemen here.
There you go,
We're not
Broden.
proving taxes or anything. The captain's
insulting
providing the
citizens.
land, where anyone can make anything happen.
Are you
Anyone
avoiding the
can create
question?
the American dream.
Communist.
No, we're not
Are you
avoiding the
avoiding the
question.
Captain Communist.
Order, so he can answer.
I don't understand what's going on.
The factory, I don't know if I'll tell him how much it's worth.
Saying, we have made much money.
It's
in
probably
this
worth like 50 to
land,
60,000
and many different deals
ingots.
with people that claim taxes, but they
An
do
amount.
not. The
have an
captain is
amount?
here to tell you that I don't always claim taxes, but I do. But I've dealt with people that claim they claim taxes, but they do not. So I'm not here to lie to you about my dirty business.
Do
I'm
you
here to
have an
tell you
amount?
that America
Do you have an
does not
amount?
do dirty business. America allows for anyone to do whatever they want, whenever they want. And that's
What did you
what
say about
America
dirty
is all
business?
about.
Business.
Do you have an amount of how much money you have made and who you've dealt with in the past and what you've sold?
I do. It's
That's
very
a
small
zero.
compared to the amount that's provable.
So you have no evidence and you don't know how much you've made.
How much amount do you have there, Mr. West?
That's
I
going
have
to
an
be
amount-
discussed by
an
my
amount
vice
with
presidential
you.
candidate.
I have an amount with you that is off the table, just to let you know.
I know he has a
So
boat that you can shit off of.
Are you open? Are you willing to open this amount about?
Thank you.
Well, my vice president will because he's a good businessman.
I can't
Alright,
do.
you will-
If you want to
you will
ask me about.
now that I've disclosed that I have an amount available to you guys. Who's the honest one?
Why are we carrying
I only
I-
did this to prove your
I'm
point.
so confused right now.
I'm really
Believe
confused,
me.
dude.
Tax return. Won't release
Move
his
on
tax
to something that
Mr.
matters.
West, he was asking you if he had permission to disclose the amount that he has dealt with you in the past.
We have not
That's
dealt
what
with
he was
this.
asking.
We have not dealt with him.
Yes, it's not yet. It's still a pending amount.
Never dealt with you. Continue on with the next candidate, then.
All right. He likes to lie about his dealing.
We never sold anything to you. We actually keep track of who we sell our things to. You never wanted to buy anything from us.
You never deal with
We
the communist.
actually have a pending 25,000 ingot transaction.
That Larry canceled because he didn't want to buy from us.
Nope, Larry did not cancel at all. That was absolute opposite. You guys canceled.
Nope,
No reason.
that's
So you didn't
Nope.
make the money.
But how about we
Because
just
you
did
let
not
didn't
make
offer
the
us the
money.
money.
How
How about we just let Miller talk?
Captain? Mr. Miller should have the floor.
Oh, thank you.
Arguments with the questionnaires to outside.
Well, West, that was a very good question. I'm glad you asked it. Midwest Incorporated has made well over 100,000 ingots in its sellings of products. We have a very diverse line of products that people enjoy and love. And in fact, we have contracts standing with everyone we sell with, or sell to rather. So we know exactly who we're selling to, where the products are going, and how much we made off those products. We keep everything under control and written down.
Gee, that sounds organized and concise.
Well, yes, it is. And that's what we're going to do when we are elected. West and Miller are going to keep everything organized and concise. You will know where your money is going, people. You will know. You'll know how the economy is doing.
All right. Thank you for the question, Mr. West. Next, continue, Mr. Chip Daly.
Why, hello there, gentlemen. I just want to ask if you guys like turtles. And if you like turtles, how are you going to protect them from the evils of fish without putting them into a chip sandwich?
Actually, I'm pretty sure turtles will kill the fish.
Oh dear.
Shh, that's not the question.
Mr. Broden, you have the floor to answer.
I am so happy you asked this question.
The bee's knees.
I, Broden Protein, love turtles. Turtles are the most amazing creatures you've ever seen on this goddamn planet. Have you seen them?
I'm gonna run for it, Igloo. I'm gonna run for it.
Those things are the cutest little pieces of shit, lovable, cuddable things, cuddleable things you ever seen in your life.
Cuddleable.
And I love them.
That's a tough word.
Don't you dare say they're tasty. If I ever saw somebody eating a turtle, I don't know what I'd do. But anyways, what I'd say is that turtles deserve to be free. And I promise that anytime I see a shark, or a swordfish, or some weird cannibalistic, well, not cannibalistic, but carnivorous, anyways, but I would protect that turtle in a heartbeat, and I would stop whatever was trying to hurt that turtle. I love turtles. I'm even gonna get a tattoo of one soon.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Broden. Captain, do you have the floor for this response?
The captain actually has to agree with Protein over there. The captain loves all animals, anywhere. If you are hunting an animal that's not attacking you, besides the fact of simple survival, that is a cruel and a punishable act. But we will not punish anyone.
I got this.
In America, so everyone's allowed to do what they do and what they do. But it just is looked very greatly upon, and we should save all the turtles if we can.
Okay, thank you, Captain.
That's pretty much what I have.
Mr. Miller, you have the floor for a response.
Oh, thank you. This is an excellent question, and I thank you for asking it, sir. Well, I find that many different cultures eat many different things. So I'm not one to judge if a culture enjoys eating or killing turtles. And I will not cast blame against those people that might enjoy eating or killing them, ever. All right? They are not endangered, and I will not cast blame upon a culture. Now, if turtles do need some help, I am not opposed to setting up a turtle sanctuary. We can have a nice little sanctuary, and we can breed them, and they can be happy, which also creates more jobs for the people of this beautiful desert.
Okay.
Teenage
Thank you, Mr. Chip.
Yes.
Next,
I love it.
Next question. Please
I don't
repeat
know.
your relevant and ask all questions.
I let 3 people go before me.
Mr. Miller, what bandits are you talking about? The famous 5?
Is that the end of your question?
Directed to all candidates.
No. I'm asking which bandit you're talking about.
Okay. The famous 5 and any other bandit group out there that we don't know the name of.
Okay. Well, some people actually tried to get the bandits out of the desert already. Where were you trying to help, Mr. Miller?
What are you talking about? Do you not see this debate happening right now where I have volunteered for free the Midwest Security Services?
What they're going to do.
We've spoken about what we're going to do. Now, I have relied upon the police force. I've already answered a question like this, son. I have relied on the police force. They need our support, and that is what I give them.
Okay. Back him up in that statement.
Next question. Please try to ask all candidates the question.
Oh, well, no, I was just gonna ask a simple question of, what will you be doing with religion in the state? Like, are you separating it from the government? Because we can't just have it ruling over us. Some of us don't believe in certain things.
Mr. Broden, you have the response for the question. Oh, never mind.
Also, don't worry about Satan. He nothing to fear. Just leave him be. He's
Where is Satan?
The old guy.
Don't worry, Satan's not here. Nope.
Oh, there goes the old guy.
You have the floor for the response.
Am I good to answer now?
Yes.
I'd say probably keep religion and government separate matters. You know, keep government simply scientific, but you know, people are free to believe what they want to believe, as long as they do not hurt anybody.
All right, Captain, your response?
I agree 100% with Protein. In the land of the free, you're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe, as long as it does not interfere upon any individual rights of those rights of around you. So you should just go ahead and believe what you believe and have fun.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Mr. Miller, your response.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for asking that question. Just such an excellent question. Now, this is going to be a short answer, but West and myself believe in freedom of religion, sir. That is all.
Thank you.
All right. Next question, please.
I think it is Roslyn and
towards all
Lime.
three candidates.
Of course. It is based on what Captain said, but it's towards all three of them. So, Captain Dimitri said at the end of his, well, before the question started, at the end of his speech, he had talked about, well, he just said the word rule, as in, like, whoever becomes president rule over everyone. But that's not how democracy works.
Communist.
So, what does everyone think about democracy? Like, what is your image about democracy and government and all that?
Oh, all right. Mr. Broden, you have the floor.
My image of democracy is a world where everyone has a saying, and what everyone says matters, and you always take everything into account, and you have a guiding hand, essentially. Well, yeah, majority rules, actually. Yeah, never mind guiding hand. I don't know why I was saying that. Yeah, I'm gonna say majority rules. You know, just make sure that things are okay and stuff. Yeah.
I'm feeling she'll say that too, Joey.
All right.
No, that is not a
Broden,
presidential
Captain,
question.
you have the floor.
What?
So the captain said
I'll set up a time with you later.
Rule, as in people that set rules with each
right
other
after this.
of the
I gotta do a perimeter
50%
check.
or plus. So everyone that agrees to a certain rule, that becomes the rule until everyone else agrees with that rule not being the rule, being a true democracy. So the captain agrees with the majority ruling how we dictate what we do. And until then or elsewise dictated, that should be how it should be. So if 51% of people say that rape is bad and 49 say rape is good, I obviously agree that rape is bad, and I think everyone else should.
What's wrong with grapes?
Grapes.
I like grapes.
Grapes
They're
are
good for eating.
one of my favorite fruits ever.
No.
Oh my god.
Why do you hate
Drapes? I like drapes too.
Okay, let's continue on to Mr. Miller's response if the captain is finished.
Yes, I'm finished.
Mr. Miller, you have the floor.
Thank you. Such an excellent question. Thank you for asking that, by the way. Well, you say, West and I are all about the people. You, the people, will be electing a president and a vice president. As such, you, the people, should have say in how this land is governed, right? So that's what's going to happen. But I feel that should a moment arise, say the bandits out there are able to get a large force and outnumber the people of this land and come in on a vote and vote in something that should not have been voted in on. That's why you're electing a strong, trustworthy president and vice president, because they need to have the ability to say, no, that's not right. That is not right. If the bandits come in and say, banditing for everyone gets to bandit, someone has to stand up and stop them. And that's what you need. But this is for the people, by the people type of government. And I promise you that.
All right. Thank you for the
Yay,
question.
West is best.
Mr. Aldrich.
Miller is
I believe
killer.
you already asked the question.
Miller is killer.
I. Mr. Popo has a question.
I wasn't even going to touch on that now, sure.
All right. Mr. Steve, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Rooster. So my question is, how can we trust the other two candidates when we have such a swell businessman like Mr. Miller up? One candidate being an accused thief of 30,000 metal ingots from the Helping Hands
Yeah, we are,
Bank,
Mr. Wizard.
who bragged earlier about all the money he's made with the brew master, 1,000 ingots. I'd like to know if these candidates, and of course Dimitri here, who has no business experience whatever, I'd wonder if they'd be willing to open their letters to the people of the desert, like Mr. Miller is about to, so they can see that all of their money is legitimate money, as we have a huge bandit problem here, and corruption in government could be a huge issue.
This is
public viewing.
Mega dance.
You have the floor, Mr. Broden, if you'd like.
First of all,
We got this, man.
I'd like to say that
Sandy?
I think your question's a bit more directed and seems a little more like
Famous father not welcome
seems a bit aggressive. Seems a little more of
That's
accusing.
like a snake's answer.
Second of all,
Well, thank you,
think,
Ozzy Gad.
you're too quick to forget, Steve, that you're the one who gave them the PIN codes that let them in there.
I could, Nashi.
So,
No.
before you start accusing other people, maybe you should, check your own facts. And
I
third
mean,
of all,
you actually robbed the bank.
actually no, I didn't. And
Yes,
third of all,
He's not a candidate. You can't argue with Steve.
Yeah, exactly.
third
I'm
of all,
just a common man.
Steve, try to
But
keep
Steve can
personal
break my
arguments out of this.
the money that I made from the brewery was all made
From the-
by selling beer. I have never made a penny off of stealing of anybody. That is a promise. I feel like he fell asleep. Couldn't even handle his own question.
Oh no.
No
Yes,
surprise there.
He fell asleep because he's breaking my heart.
Yeah,
That
there's
monster.
just a
Okay.
second, let me
God
just-
damn it, I had a
We'll
perfect
do the
answer.
same as we did before. We'll continue on.
The perfect
Captain,
answer.
You have the opportunity to answer the question
For him,
as well.